I think I've now come to terms with the fact that for us to have proper rapid development in Nigeria, we need to separate, we need to divide. Let the Yoruba man go their way, let the Northerners go their way, let the Easterners go their way. This thing about one Nigeria is definitely not going to work, Chacha. Wallahi. You cannot have South Africans clowning us. You cannot have Ghanaians clowning us. And now you now have Namibians clowning us. One Nigeria is definitely not going to work. You cannot have a simple argument or a debate with anybody from Africa right now and you are able to win. You speak one, they tell you electricity. You speak two, they tell you insecurity. You cannot travel 10 kilometers without writing your will. They speak about bad roads. They've gone as low as internet. We need to divide. This thing about one Nigeria is not going to work. Having one person as a president sitting in one place called Aso Rock, deciding the fate of 300 million people, especially when you know these are the least smartest people in the country, it's not going to work. Let us bring some kind of competition within these different regions, instead of having to depend and say everything has to do with the federal government. Ordinary electricity. I was thinking this thing about electricity in Ghana was a joke, but apparently these guys are having the best type of electricity like they were in Europe. In Nigeria, you can't even boast of 24 hours electricity. In year 2026, we need to divide, man. The only war we are winning right now in Nigeria is just jollof rice, and then maybe dirty December, clubbing alcohol. No, we can do better. This thing about what Nigeria is 300 million people. When you look at these other countries I'm speaking about, you look at Ghana, they are not even up to 40 million. Namibia, 3 million on a good day. RCCG is bigger than Namibia. The Youth Ministry of Christ Embassy, they are bigger than Namibia. Yeah, these people, they are clowning us every single day. Nigerians cannot win one war. You cannot have a normal debate and say you are going to win. Everybody, they are clowning us. Giant of Africa, my foot. Let everybody go develop their region. Chase the Igbo man from the west. Go chase the Yoruba man from the east, let them go back. Everybody go make your region better. Go find the Igbo man in the north. Let everybody, but depending on one president to make these things happen is definitely not going to work. We are too many, we are too populated for this whole one Nigeria affair. It's not going to work. Let us divide. I am tired. I am tired. The bare minimum. We are not even speaking about healthcare. We are not even speaking about child mortality, education. Just the basics we cannot even be proud of. Not one Nigeria, my foot. Everybody go your way. Let's do a referendum. Let the people decide.
What Her Britannic Majesty Queen Elizabeth II sent to her creation. All of you idiots answering one Nigerian people. Because you know nothing. When I preach this gospel, I preach it in truth and in every honesty. There is nowhere else on this earth where the same thing that obtained in Africa, and especially in this zoological republic called Nigeria, will obtain, and people will keep quiet for 60 years. It hasn't happened anywhere else before. That tells you the depth of the idiocy and stupidity that afflicts an average Nigerian because their brain and skulls are empty. They don't listen very well. The Queen is sending you congratulatory message. The Queen is sending you this very message because she created you. Her family created you. You are nothing. Without the House of Windsor, you will not be a Nigerian. Without Lugard coming, you will not know anything like Nigeria. So when I hear people stupidly and ignorantly trying to defend what they don't understand, it gives me, I become very, very sick. I become very, very sick. I want to understand something. I want people to please try to clarify something for me. Why Britain will be sending a message of felicitation to President Muhammadu Buhari, the same queen that wrote a condolence message. Buhari died in London. The same queen wrote a condolence message to the people of the zoo that they created. The zoo, I call you a zoo because all of you are laboratory animals. Nigeria is like one giant experimental lab of the British, because nowhere else on this very planet have man tried to create the most populous, or should we say, people who assume to be the most influential black country on the face of this very earth. And when people make that very erroneous assumption, they seem to forget that the people that created them are the British. No black man created the most populous country of black people on this very earth. It was done by white people. That is a fact of life. So when any idiot, regardless of who you are, you stand up, we are the most populous, we are diverse, talking rubbish. Did you make it possible? It was made possible by the family of Elizabeth II. Dana wrote you a message, writing to a man who is dead. Everybody knows that Buhari doesn't exist. But because there is this conspiracy to allow the Fulani to remain there, to run everything down, to impoverish everybody, to lower the standard of living, to make life absolute hell for everybody who is unfortunate fortunate enough to inhabit that very contraption. That is the reason why they are sending a message of felicitation. And I will read that very message. It gives me pleasure to offer my warmest congratulations on the 60th anniversary of Nigeria's independence. Independence from what? Look at how they deceive themselves. Nigeria's independence. If you are foolish, as most Nigerians are, if you are daft, as most African people are, you will not understand that they themselves are the ones that created Nigeria. So how can I be independent with something that you yourself, you created? How is that possible, I ask? A very simple question. How is that possible? How, I ask you? They created you. All of a sudden, Nigeria became independent 60 years ago. What Nigeria? Who created that thing that became independent? Britain created the Nigeria that became independent from Britain and is still answering Nigeria till this very day. Oh, come on. Black people, please try to reason. Black people, try to engage your brain cells. I'm begging you. She is congratulating you. You guinea pigs that they created on your 60th anniversary, together with my best wishes for your country's continued happiness and prosperity. Happiness and prosperity so that Britain can be taking our oil and gas without paying for it. I'm an Anglophile, I hold a British passport. I say it very clearly and very openly because it is the truth. Pipeline on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, sucking oil and gas free of charge all the way to Exeter in England. Is anybody disputing it? Are you disputing it? Why do you think they want Fulani to be in charge? Because they know that if they have a Biafran in Asorok, the person will rise up and say, enough is enough. Cut this very oil and gas and pay for it. You don't understand that is why they support one Nigeria? You don't know that. You are pretending you don't know. And any idiot who claims they are for one Nigeria is because their family is benefiting from the chaos, the mayhem, the corruption, the backwardness, the arrested development, poverty, and deprivation that is afflicting that very zoological republic. It gives me pleasure indeed because they created you. The United Kingdom and Nigeria benefit from strong and enduring ties as Commonwealth partners. Which Commonwealth? Who created Commonwealth? Britain created the Commonwealth to house all their colonies together, with the Queen as the head of Commonwealth. The same way that Abubakar Said, the Sultan of Sokoto, is the head of every religious movement in the zoo. Unbeknown to some useless people in that zoological republic. When I talk about Nigeria, I am overcome with rage. You don't understand how much I hate anybody, not just Nigeria itself. You cannot begin to fathom how much I hate anybody who refers to him or herself as a Nigerian, because you are the lowest of the low. Your education is meaningless. You are so foolish because you cannot reason very well. Who created you? That is my question. The woman or whose family created you is now writing to you and congratulating you. Commonwealth partners, and you would think there is something called Commonwealth. No, of course not. It's a club of ex-British colonies put together to remain subservient to Her Imperial Majesty the Queen of England. It's as simple as that. It takes people with common sense to understand this. Fools everywhere. She said, these are bonds that I hope and believe will flourish into the future. Of course it will flourish. As long as Nigeria remains one, Britain will continue to benefit. As long as it is one. The corruption which they planted, it was Britain that planted electoral malpractice in Nigeria. It was Britain that planted fraud, hardcore fraud, stealing. It was Britain. That was why Umaru Diko ran to Britain when he stole, wait for it, £4 billion in mobile bank. Umaru Diko, a Fulani man. These are hardened criminals. They contribute nothing to the economy. They have not done anything to move the zoo forward. All they do is to loot, to ask for power, to control AK-47, and to impoverish and terrorize all of you into submission. But unfortunately for them, they never knew that IPOB was coming. No, they never knew. When we started, they were calling us all manner of names. They are not serious. Oh, they want popularity. They are miscreants. They are touts. They know nothing. Oh, they want money. They want to become popular. And at each juncture, we have defied all the expectations and all their thinking about what we have come to represent. They have failed. And that is why today the zoo is wobbling. This newspaper, Nation, concluded by saying, Nigeria got her independence from Britain on October 1, 1960. Which Nigeria? Did you create Nigeria? Did your family create Nigeria? Was Nigeria created by a Yoruba man? Was Nigeria created by a Biafran? Was Nigeria created by a Hausa man? Was it created by a Biro man? Was it Bachama? Who created Nigeria? The same Britain. Do you see how they're messing with your brains? Do you see? Because they see you as black monkeys. You people, you cannot reason. That is why they are messing about with you. Do you understand? That is how foolish black people are. And I say it everywhere without any apology. Black people are foolish by nature. They, believe me before God and man, we are useless. We cannot reason very well. Some people listen to what we preach and they get upset. Instead of them to tell their children the truth, to say that maybe this uncle saying this thing, it is because of how we have been behaving. Our behavior is atrocious. Our behavior is bad. Look at what Facebook is doing. Facebook in Lagos is staffed by black people. Black people are there. But these black people, if you ask them how things are bad, Shebi, there is no light. Things are bad. The road to my house is unpassable. But the idiot is in Facebook headquarters, suppressing the truth, knowing fully well that that truth will set the people free. Without the revolution in Russia, will Russia be great today? Without the revolution in France, will France... look, before the Russians decided to revolt, or the French before them, all this nonsense about their elders, respect your elders. Had France been respecting their elders, will they be great today? Even Britain that you're looking at, even Britain that some of you are, do you know that Britain, there was a revolution led by a man called Oliver Cromwell? Some of you do not understand the history. The reason why the House of Windsor, the royal family, is responsive to the needs of the people of the United Kingdom was because there was a time the people revolted and they took over the government. They caught their king, Charles I, and they cut off his head. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know. So if they were there, let's respect our elders now. Do you think that the world will be where it is today? I'm asking you, after the Second World War, Japan became a major force in the world because they went to the Emperor Hirohito and said, enough is enough. We cannot go on like this anymore. And there were reforms. Don't you understand that? You dumbos in Africa, you unreasonable monkeys from Africa, don't you ever reason, don't you understand what I'm saying? Did America not have a revolution? Did they not even go to war to end slavery? Because of what they believe in. Because that is the thing about white people. They fight for what they believe in. A useless black moron will just be there absorbing and consuming whatever garbage you feed the fool. That is why an 80-year-old man will take up a page in a newspaper and be writing rubbish, saying, I am against Oduduwa agitation. I am a Nigerian. And I'm asking this idiot, did you create Nigeria? Is it a BCU or Nobanjo, whatever the idiot is? I'm asking you, did your father create Nigeria? This name that you're answering, Nigeria, who gave it to you? Your slave masters from Britain. That is why you're a nigger. That is why you're black. That is why you're unreasonable. That is why you have no running water, no electricity. That is why you have no good roads, because your brain cells are not functioning. When I say, they say I hate people, I don't hate anybody. I want you to wake up. I want you to wake up and do the right thing, and that right thing is to reason very well, and that right thing is to bring the zoo to an end. Nigeria must end. For people to survive, the zoo must come to an end. It was Britain that created Nigeria, not a black man. Don't you get that into your skull? The funny thing is that they keep bypassing this all the time. When it comes to this, they cleverly look for a way to bypass it. Why do you do that all the time? Why? Address these issues. Every day you complain, no light, school fees, police have killed somebody, stray bullet. Every day you complain, you complain, you complain, you complain, you complain. Look for a solution. What is that solution? You go back to the foundation of the zoo. Ask yourself this question. This Nigeria I'm dying for, this Nigeria they say is our country, who created it? And once you've asked yourself that question, the next question naturally becomes, what was the interest of the person that created it? And from that day, you will cease to become a Nigerian. Any idiot who comes to you and says, I'm a Nigerian, you will hate that person instantly, as I do. Once you say you're a Nigerian, I hate you immediately. Because I know, your brain cells are not correct. You're not a human being. 60 years anniversary. They say independence. Independence from who? Nigeria became independent from Britain. Independent from who created Nigeria? The same Britain. Do you see how foolish black people are? Luckily, I'm not one of them. And IPOB can never be one of them. That is why we set the pace all over the world. That is why everywhere you go to today, the wind is blowing. Because I say to my fellow Africans, Europe thrive on empire, the suppression of people. In Africa, it is different. People mind their business. It doesn't matter if your ethnic group is only 500 people. We respect that distinction. That is why even if you live in townships, at the end of the day, during festival period or during festivities, you go back to the village. There are some idiots. They say, I'm a nationalist. I will get to the man's name. He say, no, buy your rubbish. Defend what you're saying. Who is a Nigerian? You then, I'll get to Onabule, I'll get his name in a short while. I want to ask you, was your father a Nigerian? You're nearly 80 years old. Was your father a Nigerian? Was your grandfather a Nigerian? Why are you defending something that your father never defended, your grandfather never defended? Something that is actually a denigration of your great culture and heritage. Because you're a black man, you think having gone to university, having learned how to read and write, somehow that confers upon you, or maybe if you're a little bit old, you have to respect your elders. And when an elder is a complete idiot in front of you, you can see he's a fool, just respect your elder. And I'm asking you, today you're having fun importing everything from China. Had China respected their elders, would Chairman Mao have led a revolution against their elders? No. Are you now listening? All this nonsense, respect your elders, even if they are foolish. I'm asking you, had French people been respecting their elders, would there have been a revolution in France that makes France today, or that made France to become a major global force today? Go and read your history very well. All you idiots, respect your elders. That is why you are poor, you are wretched, you are hopeless, and you're useless. And of course, you are black. Of course, you are black. Independence anniversary, my foot. Mad people everywhere. Britain created Nigeria. Nigeria is one giant laboratory with a multitude of animals in it. Animals. I want to ask that professor. I want to ask that PhD holder. I want to ask that idiot defending Asarok, saying let us go and vote. I want to ask a very simple question. Did you create Nigeria? Did your father create Nigeria, your grandfather, your great-grandfather? Who created it? And for what purpose? Created by Britain to serve British business interests, and they are still sucking our oil and gas till this very day, because from day one, they came to take away our natural produce, and they are still taking it till this very morning. You fools, calling yourself Nigerians, idiots who cannot reason very well. All the empty boasts about Nigeria being the giant of Africa was because Britain made it so. Britain deliberately, by design, initially said, we are Britain, we want to get one over France. Understand, reason very well. There was competition. There was scramble for Africa. Portugal was there. Germany was there. All the big hitters were there, scrambling and, colonizing us like a bunch of idiots, which of course we are. Let us be very honest about it. Forget all that nonsense about black pride and garbage. If we were proud, there is no way we would have allowed only 20,000 Europeans to colonize the whole of Africa of nearly 40 million people. I want you to understand that very clearly. Now listen, when an idiot comes to you to boast, we are the giant of Africa. That idiot doesn't know that being the giant of Africa, so you claim either by population or maybe by natural gas and crude oil in the ground, Britain made it so because Britain wanted to get one over France. They wanted to have a group of idiots, for them, preferably headed by Fulani people. Through them, they can now control the whole of Africa. Are you understanding me? It is in their papers. They wrote it. That's what they said. It's in their document, in their government papers. We want to create a huge nation in Africa that will have a disproportionate influence in determining the outcome of affairs in Africa. That was why they added everybody together to create you monstrosity, the damnable zoological republic. If you believe in Nigeria, you're a fool. I have asked all of them, come and debate me. I was on Heritage TV last night, of course, unannounced, impromptu. I ask anybody, if you have brain in your skull, if you believe you're a professor, if you believe you went to school, I challenge you to a debate. And I have said it always. If you can, God in heaven knows, if you can last for only 2 minutes with me, I will abandon Biafra. Mad people everywhere, all the empty boast, giant of Africa. Britain made it so, not you. Have you conquered 1 inch of territory for Nigeria before? Let me give you an example with the USA. For some of you who don't know US history. Apart from the original colonies of the North, Massachusetts, all the rest of them in the northeast of America, the rest were fought for and conquered and taken over by American forces. Some of you may remember the war. Some of you don't know that Texas is actually Mexico. Or some of you don't even know that even California is also Mexico. In Texas, a war was fought by General Hudson against Santa Anna, General Santa Anna of the Mexican army. Are you aware of that very history? Hudson, the man whose name was given to the capital city of Texas, went to war and conquered that very place for the United States of America. And I want to ask these idiots, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. We are the giant. I'm asking you, name one head of state, name one Nigerian patriot who went out and conquered the territory for Nigeria. Nobody did. The same boundary that Britain agreed with France, their next door neighbor and brothers, is what exists till this very day. In fact, they even lost some to France. We are Nigerians. In America, I'm going to give you an example. In America, patriots, they went and conquered land for the United States of America. I'm asking you to claim you're a patriot, Nigeria, giant of Africa. Tell me 1 inch of land you added to Nigeria since Britain drew that very boundary. The answer is 0. You're a Yoruba man, you claim you're an intellectual. You went to school, you're an elder, you're Yoruba Council of Elders. And you were there. And your fellow Yoruba people are in Benin Republic. They are in Togo. And you're telling me that you are an intellectual. You are more concerned about a janjaweed that you don't know where the idiot comes from with AK-47 killing your children in your forest than your own flesh and blood who are residing in Benin Republic. And you're telling me you're an intellectual. I am struggling to understand this type of intellectualism in these baboons and monkeys. And some of them, the older they get, the more foolish they become. The older they get, the more foolish. In Africa, you don't insult your elders. That is why Africa is poor. Because you don't tell your elders the truth. Elder Bakwok, what stupid elder are you? That you are there, Fulanis are coming and killing your people. And you know the solution is for everybody to go their separate ways, the way we were before the white man came. Before the white man came and built this useless monstrosity called Nigeria, where Fulanis coming to kill you, of course they took a lorry and that was it. And they stopped. You fought them and they stopped. Were Fulani people in Aga to killing people? Did they come to Ozo1 in Enugu State and killing people? Did they try to take over Ebonyi State as they're trying to do today and we're stopping them? Did they try to do that? Did we have idiots like Okezipas and all other fools like the administrator of Imo State? No. It's so useless one Nigeria that gave you to all these idiots from everywhere. That is why things are not working properly. That is why people are suffering and in pain. So any idiot answering to a Nigerian is a British racist colonial product. That person is not a human being. Unless you're genuinely educated, you won't understand this. Oh, you must be learned. If you're not learned, you won't understand what I'm saying. You can't understand it because in your skull is that typical idiocy, foolishness of a black man from Africa. They don't reason very well. And here we are awakening everybody. Everybody. The effects of that British racist and demeaning construct is visible till this very day. They deliberately empowered a bunch of nomadic retards in Fulani that can't boast of excellence in any field, endeavor, or discipline. Unless you class cattle rearing as an achievement, even the cattle that they move from place to place is an instrument of war. The only industry they control is moving cattle from place to place. And they're even using it to conquer people, telling you we have to graze in the forest, we have to graze in your farms. That is why I reiterate my warning tonight to Ebonyi State. And like Imo State, anybody supporting Dave Umahi, anybody, any fool supporting him. He went and took money from Islamic Bank and built 4 flyovers and built a market, and some of you are so foolish. You don't understand what is going on. And the Ebonyi State is going towards Islam, going towards the north. He has given them a free reign. They can do whatever they like. They can kill our people and get away with it. And we are saying no to that. And I want Dave Umahi to understand, okay, Zipazu in Abia and the administrator, the Fulani administrator in Imo State, that our land can never, ever be taken over by a Fulani Janjaweed through Mijetiala. I am telling you this, and God is my witness. I'm telling you the truth. And very soon you will see the result. I'm telling you the gospel truth. They cannot take our land. All Jews or Carlo foolishly gave them law. Look at what they are doing. Have you seen our brother with machete cut on his head all over the place in our own land? They forcibly are now taking over people's farmlands in Lobuku and Lobanta. Courtesy of all Jews or Carlo, and he wants to come and campaign to be president. It's impossible. No, all of you know it's impossible. Not whilst we live, it's impossible. I want to assure all of them, all of these fulefus, as the little money that the Fulanis have allowed you to steal and keep, you think you can use to fight IPOB and fight what we are doing, you are fighting yourself. It is your doom. That I assure you. It is your doom that you are preparing for. I want to let them understand. All these idiots, some of them are governors, some are administrators, falling over themselves to outdo one another in trying to please the Fulani. Everybody, hey, come on, Alhaji, I have given your people land, though. Alhaji, can't you see? Mijetiala killed a lot of people, and I didn't do anything about it. Alhaji, can't you see? Please, can't you make me your VP? This idiot, that some of you fools call your political elite. Boy, are your political elite. You people are foolish. Very, very foolish. And I want them to try. Any army that comes into our land will die there. I'm telling Fulani tonight, live on air, copy it out and send to US State Department as you normally do. If you come into our land with the intention of working with all these quislings, all these idiots, to take our land and give to you people, all of you will die there. I'm telling you the truth. You know your question. Go and ask and they will tell you.